So I'm working in this washroom. This is a live and flip project. And we got this old stainless steel deep dish sink that needs updated. And I think I could retrofit this sink and make it useful and user friendly. This seems a little odd. At first glance, when this was in the washroom, it was a no-brainer. Throw it out, it's trash. However, in a garage environment, it doesn't look that bad. Uh-oh, must have had a leak. Look at this, dirt and grime. Pretty strong base. Just needs some retrofitting. So I just pressure washed it. Seemed like an easy way out. And since this is particle board, you can get away with pressure washing it and drying it quickly. Keep that bottom off the floor so it can dry. So the sink is attached with these clips. It's missing one up there. And it appears to be a flathead. Just loosen them up. They come right off. Spin them around. Oh wow, came the whole way out. Anyway, they slide out the end. And that's how they're installed. Put the screw in there. And then slide them in. And then they turn and mount like that. It's pretty cool. That's as clean as I could get it with the pressure washer, but it could be buffed out. It could look like brand new. So I found this nice big thick piece of wood to mount it to the wall. That would make a good tabletop for the sink. Hope it's not covering a big hole. It's got something there. Mount it. I'll have to cut that off. So here's the concept. Of course, this cabinet will be tight against that wall, and then this will extend out here. I can put a trash can underneath. But first, I'll line up that plumbing and bring it through. I'm going to get the general idea. Yep, same size hole. One. Beautiful. Now I'll determine how much overhang I want, which about 1 inch. Draw a line, cut this. Back of that board's got some mold. I guess I'll have to pressure wash that too. But the wall where it came from looks good. So this thing is way off level. And I got an idea. I'm going to turn it upside down. So I'm thinking as long as the face is true, you just put a board on here and bring it up until it's level. Here's a better way of looking at it. I'm restoring the factory height back here with a board. Glued and screwed. That's pretty nice. Here's across the front. Light shimming would take care of that. So I need some side panels, something thin, just a skin. And this here is put on with contact glue and apply a little bit of heat and it will release. Tight to the floor, clamp. So anytime I can line something up and trace it versus measuring, I do so. And then I'll connect this area, straight edge. Get this little notch here to match the cabinet. Cut that out and it should be a perfect fit. Cut this out. You guys don't need to see that, right? Nice. Get some glue. Because I want this is going to be a painted surface. I don't want any fasteners showing. So I've got some leftover RV adhesive, and this is for gluing rubber to wood. So wood to wood would be perfect. This will also seal off this rough edge here, make it watertight. Of course, we got the new piece right there. There'll be no more deterioration in this area. This side is a little smoother. And then I have a piece cut for the inside to sandwich together, and we'll just clamp it. Couple sticks pushing. That should do it. I'm going to use the old sink top as a template. So the door represents center of the cabinet. And I leveled this up. Put a mark there. Then found center on here. And we'll line them two up. Trace it out. An easy way to get this rounded edge, take a hole saw, line it up with the curve, and a center dot right here. So then you know where to line up the bit, right there. That's some pretty tough wood. Nice! So this looks pretty decent, just as it is, for a garage. I could paint this, polyurethane it, and be good. I could layer it with a smooth surface here, then paint in polyurethane, but for a garage, I think this is adequate. So I'm gonna work with this. Any imperfection, hit it with glue. I could get it from both sides if I want to. All right. So everything's out of square on this bench. You can see the plywood hitting the 4x4 there, and we got a gap here. However, I'm gonna need a support right here. And it's made so easily disassembled in case they need to work on plumbing or the dryer vent. So you just have this screwed into a ledger here. This is just freestanding, holding that wall in place. Disassemble the plumbing, and this will slide right out of the channel, and the same goes for the bench. Glue's dry. I hit it with a orbital sander, all the edges. Now, I'm going to apply some joint compound. Drywall mud adheres well to wood surface. Put it on, take it off. Fills in all those crevices. Gives me a nice smooth surface for the paint. Got the wooden strip installed for the channel. And then took a sander and rounded off the edges. No chance of catching on it. So this is just regular house paint. Same paint I used on the garage walls. Gray for garage, right? Don't look bad. I paint the inside too, in case you get any water. It's sealed. All right, so this is looking a little bit plain Jane. One gives it some stone coat. See what that does. Here I have a jar of oil-based polyurethane, and I stored it like this years ago because it was in a gallon can and there was very little left. It has a tendency to dry up. Alright, looks like we've got a breakthrough. I'll just go like that and go from there. Then I've got two choices of brushes here. This is as cheap as you can go, $1, and a little bit better brush. Cheaper brushes are known to lose the hairs. This is a garage project. Let's use the cheap one, see how it does. Wow, that stuff looks rough. Why is this so dark? Because it's 10 years old? This looks really nice. This doesn't. Well, it's all about testing products, right? Looks like a pot of coffee was poured on here and it dried out. Dried smooth. Well, I met my goal. I just wanted a protective layer. So I'm going to go with it. It might look good with the rustic wood look. Let me show you a clip of how it was supposed to turn out. Here's a countertop I did 5 years ago using the same jar of polyurethane, and it turned out great. And there's claims oil-based polyurethane can last 10 to 20 years. So apparently over the last 5 years it has deteriorated. So I'm going to create a seal between the sink and the base, 100% silicone in white. That will keep any water intrusion getting underneath and rotting out the wood. So what I'll do is allow the silicone to cure, then remove the whole countertop and install the sink clips. Take your clip, slide it up in the groove, bring it to where you would like. Snug it up, pulls the silicone in tight. So my brother stopped by and he seen that finish I had on here and he said that was not acceptable. So I experimented with some stain and I do say it's an improvement. So this little corner piece is where you put a screw through to attach to the countertop. I'm missing 3 of them. So I'm just going to use a little glue. It's like spot nailing. Right into the slot. Nice. Hook up this plumbing. Just finished up the plumbing, and the shutoff for this sink is on the other side. Let me show you that. So these valves are located in the washroom, and these will be the winter shutoff for the sink. And so after I drywall this, I'll have a little access panel. These valves serve two purposes. When I turn off the winter shutoff, you can open these and release the pressure so nothing freezes. And then during the summer months, you have the option of cold or hot to a garden hose. Look like soap. Nice! Oh, nice and warm. Either way, let me show the progression of how all this came together. I'd like to thank everyone for watching, and if you would like to watch the replacement sink in the washroom or other home improvement videos, I'll provide a link right here, over there,